our topic is which is Miner or Skeleton Army the best card in Clash Royale? Well, to understand, a lot of you guys probably don't know what Clash Royale is, so we're going to explain this video. Should explain it a little bit. This is just a little bit of gameplay of the game. It's a mobile game. Two players go head to head trying to take each other's crowns, and each person makes their own deck from a variety of cards. The goal is to try to take the other person's crowns before they take yours. This is just a little bit of gameplay. Should I just?
Yeah, you're good.
Right.
Here, I'll pull you out full screen.
Okay. That was just a little bit.
There you go.
Okay. So I think the Miner is better than Skeleton Army because one, it can take out multiple buildings and such as elixir pumps, stuff like that. You guys probably don't know what that is, but it's. So as of now, the Miner is the only troop that can go anywhere on the map. If you guys saw how everything had on the gameplay, every troop had to be placed down on your side of the map, but Miner can go anywhere. It's the only troop that can do that besides, and spells can do that, but it's only 3 elixirs. Elixir is how much a card costs to place it down, and you want to try to get positive elixir trades. You take out their troops for less elixir than they placed it. It's great for chip damage. It's good at constantly hitting the tower over and over for how cheap it is and how fast it is. And it creates opportunities that Skeleton Army can't. Well, Miner can also be used defensively. You can be taking out troops that have higher elixir costs or equal amount the same elixir. For example, it can take out Musketeer, a Witch, a Wizard, Electro Wizard, Executioner, Ice Wizard, and Princess. These are all very powerful support cards, and if you can take them out with the Miner, you can shut down their entire pledge. It can take out buildings. You can take out Elixir Pump or Furnace. The elixir pump is that produces elixir by the side of the picture. You can take out Furnaces, Goblin Hunt, Barbarian Hunt, and Tombstone. Taking out these buildings can really mess up someone's entire game because they could be running this thing called a spawner deck, and that's when they have the Furnace, the Goblin Hunt, and the Barbarian Hunt all in one thing. And if you can take out one of them, you can kind of screw over their entire game, and it could be an easy win for you. So Jacob chose Skeleton Army, but the thing is, Skeleton Army has so many counters that it doesn't matter how many skeletons there are in it. It can be zapped, log, arrows, fire spirits, ice spirit. It can be killed by minions, archers, goblins, spirit goblins, and goblin gang. These are all cards that have lower or equal elixir trades. So yes, although it's good at taking out huge bushes, there's just too many counters for it to be the best card. And also the skeletons have very low health, so that's why they're able to be countered by so many things. In conclusion, my opponent had to get Addison McGash right here. He paid him $5 to get him to hire trophies and see, the thing is, in Clash Royale, you earn trophies every time you win, and the goal is to try to get as high as trophies as you possibly can. So he had to pay Addison to basically win him games because he couldn't do them himself. And also, Jacob has overlevel cards. So each card has levels. And tournament standard is when all cards are evenly balanced and stuff. But Jacob has overlevel cards higher than I'm just going to say the main people that play: Alex, me, and Addison, but he's still lower trophies than all three of us. So, yeah. I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, I don't scale the army, but before I talk about this, who actually knows what Clash Royale is? Alright. So, the Skeleton Army is the best card in the game because it's one of the best cards on defense, except for the fact that it can be countered so easily. And it has the most amount of troops in one card. Like the miner, it's one troop. The Skeleton Army has 15 skeletons. And normally you can get the 1 elixir skeletons. They're not that great because they're four skeletons. And they're only they are only 1 elixir, but they're not really that great because they can't do any damage and they can also die really easily. These are only 3 elixir. His card's 3 elixir too. But since it is 3 elixir, it can counter cards like the Giant and P.E.K.K.A. because if they have a push coming down towards your tower, you place a Skeleton Army and you get, like he was talking about, you get a good elixir value. And it also, since it is a ton of skeletons, it can do a ton of damage in a short amount of time. The reason it is so good on defense is because it does have a ton of troops in one card. It can counter tanks, and tanks would be like a Giant, a Royal Giant, P.E.K.K.A., cards like that. And I'll show you a picture. I think I have a picture of the P.E.K.K.A. and the next slide. And like I was saying earlier, it's super cheap compared to like the P.E.K.K.A., which is 7 elixir. This costs 3, and it can counter P.E.K.K.A. That's the P.E.K.K.A. And it can counter almost any ground troops except for troops that are splash damage, like Valkyrie, because since the Skeleton Army is so many troops, splash damage just counters it super easily. But like I was saying, it can counter heavy cards, which do a ton of damage to towers. And Skeleton Army, if it gets to the tower, it does a ton of damage. It does way more than the miner, but the problem is it's hard to get to the tower. In conclusion, the Skeleton Army is the best card because of the value it has on defense. Oh.
I must have messed up, but
Yeah,
that's
anyways,
it.
well, I have to say this. The miner, the reason it's not the best card because it is mainly used on offense, but compared the 64 damage it does to a 3,000 health tower, that's like no damage whatsoever. And if it is by itself, there's not even a need to counter it because of the amount of damage that it does to a tower, because it barely does any damage. So yeah.